Down to if there's something I can do, then why shouldn't I do something?
A life-saving gift. Two friends, one who needed a kidney, the other turns out to be a perfect match, and the Facebook post that brought them together.
Tonight, we take you into the operating room to see the amazing, life-changing robotic surgery in action.
Our Nima Shafee has the incredible story.
Alejandro Hortet is about to receive a life-changing operation. To understand the scope of his story and his operation, we have to take you back in time.
Back in April, I was having some difficulties eating. I figured it was just the flu or something.
That wasn't the case at all. In fact, he had also tried to donate blood, but the staff at the blood bank wouldn't let him.
I was trying to just do something good.
His blood pressure was too high, in fact so high, the staff suggested he go visit his doctor. As a student at Boise State University in Idaho, he had access to the student clinic. The doctor there performing a battery of tests and saying to come back and check back in the afternoon.
And an hour later, I get a call saying that I needed to come in right away with a friend.
Immediately, the doctor came in at just 23 years old, days away from graduating with his bachelor's degree and prepared for the move to the Motor City to start his new life. The doctor dropped the news.
This is kidney failure, 100%. We already talked with the hospital, St. Luke's. They already have a room ready for you.
Alejandro would spend time in the hospital in Idaho before being released and moving here to the Motor City and starting his career in engineering. At the same time, taking to Facebook and letting his friends know what's going on in his life. His friend James, seeing his post and knowing he was a universal blood type, stepped forward.
Immediately, the first thing they told me was like, if you need, you can have my kidney.
James had attended high school in Idaho with Alejandro before going to college together at Boise State. James talking with Alejandro's parents to make it clear he was serious.
They're like, Alejandro needs something. Otherwise, the wait list is actually a lot longer than what I had originally known.
A lot longer than most people realize. According to OregonDonor.gov, right now more than 119,000 people are on the transplant waiting list. Of them, more than 80% are waiting on a kidney.
Just came down to if there's something I can do, then why shouldn't I do something?
The surgery took place here inside Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, one of a handful of hospitals offering the minimally invasive life-saving transplant operation, and they're using a robot to do it all.
We've done minimally invasive for the donor part of the operation for quite some time.
But with the newest member of the surgical team, the Da Vinci, it helps doctors by not straining them.
With the robot, we don't have to worry about that. We can just go ahead, put the kidney in, we sit in a normal, comfortable position, and using the robot, we can do the operation in a nice, gentle, relaxed fashion.
Dr. Atsu Yoshida is a transplant surgeon with Henry Ford Hospital. He says he sees patients' benefits too.
With the robot, we're changing the whole dynamic of an operation that would be a big incision, lots of wound infections, a lot of problems with the wound in general, to a small incision where people can go home, in theory, almost the next day.
Adding Henry Ford is just one of a handful of places in the country performing these robotic kidney transplants. And just take a look. This is more video from inside Alejandro's transplant surgery. Outside the operating room, James tells me what it all came down to. Some words of advice from his father, who he says he hadn't spoken to in years prior to this operation.
Life comes down to a few basic options. Either you do something or you don't. And more often than not, we regret the things we don't do. And sometimes those regrets have impacts on other people.
Between my parents, we call him my angel, because I think about it, there's no way for me to ever repay him. What he's doing for me, I think about it, he's giving me life.
In Detroit, I'm Nima Shafee, 7 Action News.
Alejandro continues to be on the mend. He's had a few hiccups following the procedure, but he is doing well.
As for James, he's back and working out now that he's healed from his surgery there, so good news for both of them there. Win-win.
Absolutely.